Good morning, everyone, and as Chairman of Business in the Community, may I welcome you to the second day of Business in the Community's Responsible Business Convention. It really is a huge pleasure to see so many of you here, and I think it's testament to the seriousness with which business is addressing some of the real challenges that we're facing as a country today, and indeed the wider world. It's also proof of the belief of our President, the Prince of Wales, has in the ability of business to be a force for good. For more than a quarter of a century, he has done more than anyone else to cajole, encourage and support us into recognising our responsibility towards the communities in which we operate. With the severe economic and environmental challenges facing us, the needs are as great, if not greater, than they have ever been, be they in our urban or rural communities, or in our natural and built environment. Now, I know that each and every one of you knows this, otherwise you wouldn't have made the effort to be here. But it is my hope that today, Business in the Community will equip you with information and assistance to maximise the positive impact that we can all make. But of course, this is not a one-way street, as many of the companies who've done some of the most inspirational work will tell you. And I'm thinking here of Barclays' remarkable homelessness project and the stunning work of UBS in Hackney's most deprived schools. The effect on a company's employees can be hugely rewarding. I know this from Waitrose and our Community Matters scheme. Each month we give £1,000 to each branch to share out between 3 local good causes nominated by customers and voted on by our partners. Since it started in 2008, we've donated £6 million and more than 20,000 local charities and good causes have been rewarded. And employee engagement is built to an even greater degree when there is an organised volunteering programme, such as the CARES programme run by BITC. At the moment, there are 350 partner companies addressing social issues in communities across the United Kingdom by volunteering their employee skills and time during business hours. And that's the key point. It has to be a gift of time from the business. This approach builds real loyalty and pride in a company, and after all, what's more important than the people that work in our businesses? And it matters to our reputation too, and it makes a difference to how our investors perceive us, how our customers view us, and how successful we are in recruiting the best talent, for whom it is increasingly important. We have moved a long way from the time when the corporate sector believed the very nature of what it did, driving the economy, providing employment, shareholder value, earning profit and paying taxes, is delivering a public good, that it had to do no more than that. In fact, the founder of the John Lewis Partnership saw things differently, and he wrote into our first constitution in 1928 that the happiness of our partners was the supreme purpose of the partnership. And at Waitrose, we're endeavouring to achieve that by pursuing 3 principles. The first is a financially sustainable business that looks to the long term, creates the conditions that allow us to recruit more people and to reward them properly. The second is a commitment to give our people the opportunity to develop their skills and interests both in work and outside, and encourage them to help make the business stronger and better. And finally, we have a determination to do the right thing, so that our partners can be proud of our business, which ultimately gives them a true sense of well-being. But everyone in business knows that our role has changed. We know that investing in our communities is not just in money, but in time and expertise. And that makes for good business. As Marcus Seif, the founder of Marks & Spencer, said, a prosperous high street demands a prosperous back street. So today's Business in the Community has as its objectives transforming business, transforming communities, because the two are so closely linked. We've been charged by both our President and by the Prime Minister to see how we can work with the most hard-pressed communities in the country. We have a strong track record on which to build, and many of the companies in this room have been involved in some truly inspirational work with school children and with teachers in some of the most deprived inner city areas, in rural communities, from saving village pubs to securing the future of our hard-pressed hill farmers, with the support for community entrepreneurs from Balsall Heath to Bristol. The list really is endless. And over the last 4 years, business in the community, under the inimitable leadership of Dame Julia Clevenden, has led a consortium of the Prince's charities to help revitalise Burnley. The Burnley project is making a huge difference thanks to the unique cooperation and action by business, charities and local government. It is a model that we can and must build on. Central to our success will be the business connectors, individuals who link together businesses with local organisations and community leaders so that you can bring practical help and solutions to the areas in most need. During the coming year, we shall see increasing numbers of business connectors appointed, not least, I hope, because many companies, and dare I say it, that means you, will second somebody to the task. We've already had offers from many companies, and some, I have to say, incredibly generous offers, and we hope that more will follow suit, because all of our experience tells us that working in partnership like this delivers the best and the quickest results. At the same time, we must not weaken our efforts towards the world, and we must tread more lightly, as we only have one planet. And the shocking events in Japan really bring that home, and we're delighted that Hitachi, one of our speakers, and Stephen Gomerstall is here. And Stephen, we really do recognise what a fantastic commitment it is from you to be here today, and we know that many of your workforce have been impacted. So thank you very much for coming, and our thoughts are with you and your company. It's also very clear from every measure that you look at that we're going to face increasingly severe environmental challenges. And it isn't just about carbon. From a massive loss of the world's biodiversity to a dangerous lack of water in increasing parts of the world, from the destruction of the rainforest to the potential collapse of global fish stocks. We're putting the planet under increasing stress. Each of us has a responsibility to reduce it, and business in the community is here to help, both through the Mayday Network, which I'm sure you've all heard of, and the START campaign. One business facing, the other consumer facing. If you are not already involved in these two campaigns, I urge you to get involved. Waitrose has been closely involved with START, which Ian Cheshire, I have to say, has done a brilliant job in leading, and I can attest to the difference it's made to partners in our business and to our customers. The point is that the issues we face are all connected, and if we approach our social, economic and environmental challenges in the right way, by looking at them in the round and seeing the links between them, then we'll be able to chart a course that could lead us to a far more stable and better future. And that future is one that is good for all our businesses and, of course, the future generations for whom we have ultimate responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there are many other business leaders in the country who have proved they understand this better than today's keynote speaker, Ian Cheshire, the Chief Executive of Kingfisher. Ian is also chairman of Business in the Community's 2050 Vision Project, trying to look forward so that businesses can prepare for a future where resources are increasingly constrained and demand ever higher. Ian truly understands the issues, and he has been prepared to lead from the front, being courageous in both word and actions. With around 25% of the UK's carbon emissions coming from households and running one of the world's leading home improvement retailers, Ian has recognised that Kingfisher is in a unique position to help consumers make their homes more sustainable and at a lower cost. He has shown that it's possible and rewarding to work in partnership with the public, private and NGO sectors, and there could be no better way than to kickstart today's programme than to welcome Ian Cheshire to the stage. Ian.